Hello and welcome to your Mystic Monday mashup video for the week of October 22nd through the 28th. So if you are unfamiliar with this offering and how it works, currently what happens is there are 6 cards that are posted on my Instagram. 3 of these are from the Moonchild Tarot. They are going to be applicable to everyone watching this video. So we'll start with the past, present, future from the Moonchild Tarot, and then we'll move into the 3 cards that you have chosen from, which is from the Bad Bitch Affirmation. These contain inspirational phrases and affirmations for you to carry your individual needs and manifestations into this next week's energy. So if you haven't seen the image that I posted on my Instagram to select your Bad Bitch Affirmation card, pick a card pile from the following image. Okay, now that you've got your card either left, middle, or right, I encourage you to take a moment to pause and think about what you want to manifest for the coming week. If you want to make it super powerful energy, you can leave a comment below about your manifestations and what you want to call into your life. And then we will get started with the 3-card reading from the Moonchild Tarot to give you a little indicator of how to support those manifestations through the next week's energy. So the first card that we've pulled from the Moonchild Tarot that represents our past, where we're coming from, is the 5 of Wands. So the 5 of Wands indicates that we're coming out of a time of sort of scattered thought patterns and a little bit of uncertainty when it comes to following our intuition and trusting in our spiritual and creative gifts. So as we're coming out of this 5 of Wands energy, it's a really great time to meditate, to get quiet, and to cleanse out any unnecessary thought patterns. So one of my favorite ways to do this is to free write in a journal. Oftentimes we have so many thoughts and worries and to-do lists and just muck running around in our brain. And so in order to be able to think clearly, we have to kind of clear out those closets. So it's as if you are looking into a closet that's filled with clothes that you never wear and you never even need to look at again. And you can't get to the things that you actually want. So this week I encourage you to move out of this scattered thought energy and find more clarity, to sit down and at least a couple times a week journal out just anything that you're thinking. Literally write directly from your brain onto the page, and it could be as boring as thinking about how cold it is in the room that you're currently in, but whatever's coming through your mind, write it on the page. And after about a page to a page and a half, you'll start to find that some of the stuff that doesn't need to be in your brain has been cleansed out, and you can now find what you're looking for much easier, just like if you were to clean out your closet. So the second card that we pulled from the Moonchild Tarot, and our card that represents the present moment and this coming week, is the Chariot. So the Chariot is a beautiful card of self-reliance and moving forward. So as you clear out your mind and you get rid of the clutter, you're going to start to find that your intuition is going to be your best friend and your best guidance. It's not about looking to the outside world for their opinions and for their advice. It's about turning within. So the Chariot is really that sort of higher self version of you that's guiding you through this process. So it's a really beautiful, really divine card with a lot of fate and destiny behind it that we're moving into this week. But it's all about finding your own resilience within and being able to tap into giving yourself what you need in any given situation. So think of yourself this week as your own mother, lover, best friend, and anytime that you're starting to feel a little lacking, separate yourself from that sense of lack and communicate with that part of yourself that's having that emotion. It's totally natural for us to go through ebbs and flows with our emotional abundance. And so as you start to realize the areas that feel a little lacking, and as you start to clear out the things that don't need to be in your mind, honor those emotions and give yourself some time to really speak to the part of yourself that's feeling like it's lacking, and speak as if you're speaking to a best friend. And it sounds a little like having multiple personalities, but ultimately we have so many different vibrations within ourselves, and we're a container for so many different energies that are all us. They all fit under that umbrella. But sometimes we have to communicate between the two. We have to let our higher selves, the more peaceful, loving side of ourselves, communicate to the parts of ourselves that are still healing from childhood wounds, from past life wounds. So it's a good week to really communicate with the parts of yourself that are feeling in lack, and remind yourself that you are surrounded by love and that you have everything that you need within you. So the final card that we've pulled from the Moonchild Tarot represents the energy that we need to be aware of moving into the future this week. And that is the Five of Cups. So for this card, we have another 5, which again represents change and the emotions and the discomfort that comes up whenever we're going through change. So we had the 5 of Wands from our past energy, which is about finding scattered thoughts and sifting through the thoughts that we no longer need. The 5 of Cups coming into the future card position is telling us to sift through the emotions that we no longer need, which is why I think we have the present moment Chariot energy of becoming our own best friend, our own lover, our own mother. Because the more that you can learn to care for yourself from the inside out, the more that you can start to clean house in your emotions as well. So just like you cleaned house with your thinking and your perspective with the 5 of Wands, it's time to go into your emotions and recognize the emotions that you're having that may not be warranted by the outside circumstances. The 5 of Cups indicates there might be a little bit of feeling of grief or loss that's going on in your life. And hopefully by finding that Chariot energy within the present moment, you will be able to mother yourself into a state of comfort and sort of speak to yourself in a way that honors your feelings of loss and grief, but also reminds you gently that you have a lot of abundance and a lot of love that's surrounding you. So as this week unfolds and you start to learn to mother yourself, recognize the moments that you are feeling a little more childlike in your emotional state and allow yourself to find that internal mother and speak to yourself with kindness and with love, and try not to tell yourself that you're wrong for having these emotions because it's totally natural, and just be present with that. Sit with it for a while. And almost like you were sitting with a small child and giving them a hug while they had a cry over a skinned knee or a lost toy, this is how we're treating ourselves at the end of this week. We're finding that wisdom, that Chariot energy that we've cultivated so kindly throughout the week. And at the end of the week, it's gonna come into play in a big way because you're gonna learn how to deal with your own emotions with maturity and love. So even though we're all dealing with the same energy, we're all gonna cope with it in different ways. And we're all gonna have a different reserve of energy to bring about change in different ways. So that's where the Bad Bitch affirmation cards come into play. So if you pick the card to the left of your screen, card number 1, you have the affirmation, I am my biggest masterpiece. So this card is coming in as a reminder as you become that Chariot that you are a constant work in progress, and that's okay. So as you find that Chariot energy for yourself and you start to rely on yourself a little bit more and be able to mother yourself, friend yourself, and be your own best lover, recognize that you're still a constant work in progress, and that is totally fine. It takes so many layers of paint to create a masterpiece. So as you are refining these thought patterns and as you are learning to care for yourself, know that it's not a perfect process. It's always going to be shifting and changing. The goal is just to continue to layer on that paint in ways that make you feel beautiful in the moment. And if that doesn't work for you over time, you can also put on another layer of paint and create a completely different masterpiece altogether. If you pick card number 2, the card to the center of your screen, your Bad Bitch affirmation for the week is, I am the love of my life. So for you center card babes, I think this is really embodying the energy of the Chariot. You are your own best friend, you are your own best lover, you are your own mother, you are your own father, and by being that, by embracing that state within yourself, you take the pressure off of all of your other relationships. It doesn't mean that you're not going to still be surrounded by love from the external world, but it means that you don't necessarily need it. You don't have to know that someone has your back because you always have your back. You are the love of your life, and I hope that you really truly feel and embrace that feeling this week. If you pick card number 3, the card to the right of your screen, your Bad Bitch affirmation for the week is, meet the universe halfway. So I think that this card is coming into play a little bit more in the 5 of Cups realm of things. So as you're coming into the feeling of discontent or grief or sadness, know that the universe is working for you, but you have to meet the universe halfway. I always like to say the universe is like a great Amazon wish list, but the wish list doesn't do anything if you don't share it with the world. So just like the universe is a really great Amazon delivery service and can give you anything you want, you still have to share that URL link with the universe. You have to meet the universe halfway by showing and telling and getting really clear about what it is that you desire to do, and also showing up for it. Because if that package gets delivered and no one is there to pick it up, then you still don't get those gifts. So it's kind of working that way with your manifestations this week. As you start to come into this place of relying on yourself and being your own best lover, best friend, mother, father, and really being able to find that completion within yourself, you are also going to know that the universe is there to support you, but you have to show up for it. So trust in your own abilities to provide for yourself, but also let the universe take half of that weight. As always, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button below, like, share it with your friends, and feel free to check out some of the other videos that I have on this channel. Also, I am contemplating doing live readings on my Instagram, so if that is something that you are interested in, follow me at Michelle Shea and tell me in the comments below what day or time you would like to have free live tarot readings where I answer whatever questions you throw at me.